Do you know what the one big question I get when I introduce myself to people who don't know me? And I tell them I teach people how to trade stocks and options. And I do that, one, because I love it. The one question they ask over and over again, I'm going to reveal it later on in today's video. It's time for On the Radar. We'll be covering a couple of stocks. We'll cover the indexes. And also, I'm going to answer that question, which is, how do I get started trading stocks? So first time you join us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell. And they say you're not supposed to say that, but what the heck. And also leave comments. Let me know how I'm doing. Thumbs ups are always good. And share our videos because they are valuable. Aloha. Let's get started now. Okay, well, there's the bell. The session is closed for the 17th of November, 2021. We'll check to see the market was doing. I won't say I can call it a sell-off, but it certainly appears to be at least, I won't say stalling in place, but kind of stalling in place. So let's get on to today's session so we can say what's happening with the indexes and answer that question we asked in the intro. So the spiders, what's going on with the S&P? As you can see, the S&P is looking fairly, there you go. It drove up after pulling back last week. This was Wednesday of last week. It rebounded and went all the way back up and tested the highs. Now today, what's happening? We're getting kind of a, we'll have to call that a bearish harami on the small body inside of yesterday's candlestick. What does that mean? Well, a couple of things it could mean. One is we're getting some negative divergence here. The TSI is kind of running sideways. And I'm not going to talk about stochastics right now. We're looking at implementing some of the stochastic triggers in comparing it with the other momentum shifts, just as an extra clue. But again, we trade off of price action, not the not what the indicators show us. Indicators are just basically for confirmation only. So what are we looking at? Basically still going up. The downtrend has not been broken. However, we did get up into the past resistance and it stopped. We couldn't go any farther. Basically, that is a brick wall that until it is broken, we are not going to be going any higher with the S&P. So that's what we've got going with the S&P. What about the Qs? Okay, NASDAQ. Similar type situation, pushed up, didn't quite make it up to the past highs, but as you can see, nice little pullback into Wednesday of last week, then Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We pushed higher, and then we're closing with what? A spinning top doji, which is a sign of indecision and or time to rest. This could also be reflective of a doji sandwich that that Steve Bigelow talks about, where price action will oftentimes come in, put in basically a day of rest, and then take off from there. If this is a doji sandwich, we would expect the next green candle immediately following it to be about the same range as the one from Tuesday. What else are we looking at? Similar type situation where we're getting the TSI crossing back up and bouncing off the zero line. The market forecast. TSI did cross up to the upside, but as you can see, it's kind of stalling out. We always want to look at our once we had a powerful move like this, pull back, and then here is the next rally attempt. Where is it going? As you can see, the next rally attempt is only getting back up to around the past highs. If we stall out there, then anticipate a move back down to a lower level. And what we may get is, a one leg down, 2 legs down, rally back up, 3-day legs down, and then I would anticipate we could get all the way back down to here, but we're running out of year. If we're going to have a end of year rally, it basically, we've got 2 weeks left, about 2 weeks left in, 1.5 weeks left in November, and then we get into December. So price action just, is looking okay. The thing that kind of spooked the market today was the concern over what? Over inflation. And so we'll see if that continues to be the case. There's a lot of moving parts out there in the economy, and there's a lot of moving parts on the market. It tends to be a market of stocks. I'm going to be looking at one of our trades that we put on 3 or 4 weeks ago in ATKR, and I'm also going to be looking at what's going on with BITTO. Is it time to buy into BITTO at the current low? What kind of pattern are we putting in? What can we compare it to? Moving on. What about the Russell? Russell had a really nice, again, Russell broke out a couple of weeks ago from this trading range. As you can see, that dotted line right there at the 234.53 level is that range. So we're getting a pullback into the breakout area. It may not go any further than it's at right this moment in time. It may drop down here to the 34. Any type of a pullback into these areas then could result in a turnaround and move higher. A couple of different ways to look at trading this. One, wait and see if we go down a little bit further. The TSI is saying, yeah, I may want to go down a little further. What's going to happen when it gets down about the 0 line, which is often a turnaround area? And T is on the market forecast, you can see just slightly crossed through the upper reversal zone at the $80 point. And I'll be looking for some kind of a reversal signal. Again, it will probably happen intraday. So I'm not going to really trigger into a trade on this. I will have some alerts set if I drop down to 232-ish or even look to trade TNA. But where do I want to trade TNA? I want to trade TNA if it gets down below the $100 mark. So if I get down to about 99 bucks, then I'll look for a reversal back up to the upside. With the, what's showing on the TSI right now, I want to wait for that momentum reversal on also to show up on TSI, but it will typically show up first as a reversal candlestick, followed by then a momentum reversal on the indicators. If, however, we get and let me show it to you, what's called a 2-line cluster on the market forecast, where both of the short-term and micro momentum lines drop into below the 20 level right there. That would be a 2-line cluster, and the rule on 2-line clusters and 3-line clusters is once they happen, we're looking for a reversal back to the upside between 1 and 5 trading periods. This is a weekly chart. We're looking for it between 1 to 4, excuse me if I said 3, but 1 to 4 trading periods after that. That reversal can start, though, at a lower level. So we never want to try to fade a position, especially when it hasn't shown us it's ready to reverse with the reverse to the upside with the price action. So that's what we've got going on there. Nice little pullback, though. Excellent pullback. The rid of the drawing. Let's grab here and grab a. We can take this as a flag line. And why am I doing this on the Russell or IWM or TNA in this case? Why am I doing this on this? Is that typically, traditionally, and let's go to IWM because that is the non-leveraged ETF. Similar type situation. Draw a line across the top there. Typically during the final, the Christmas rally that happens typically every year around Christmas time, the Russell normally runs at a larger percentage gain than the other indexes. Again, that is the seasonality. That is the what typically happens. Now, does it have to happen every year? No, it does not. But that is typically what takes place. So I'll be looking for one, a move above the high of the low day, which is today, which should bust it out above the trend line. Or I'm looking for a little bit more of a pullback, a pullback below the 20 line, and then a retaking it. That would be also a very positive sign. So let's go ahead and jump over and look at a couple of stocks. One stock that we were looking at is, let's see how it's doing. And I always like to show you, exactly, hey, here's the trade we did, and here's what's happening with it. But I gotta just be able to find the darn thing. There it is. Okay. ATKR. ATKR did have earnings when? Oh, I'm sorry. It's before the market opens tomorrow. So I apologize for that. I was going to show this to you. One of the things I anticipated doing, though, is we basically got into this trade down here about the $90 level, $90.50. We wrote it up. We took out profits at 10%. We pulled back. We pushed back up. And then what I did for our members was I said, okay, we have earnings coming up before the market opens tomorrow, so we want to be taking some profits off the table today. So here's the way we set up this trade. We took off profits at, like 10 minutes before the close at about $103. So we went from $90, $91 up to $103. So about a 12, 14% gain. Took those profits off the table. I left a quarter of position in place for, if we get blowout numbers, I want to participate in that, but I can fall up to 10% and still be very profitable on the overall trade. But I just wanted to keep that open as a potential trade for me. So that takes care of that. That gives you the idea of what we're trying to do and what I try to do with the autopilot trading service with active trend trading. Another one that we have been following specifically is BITTO, BITTO. Now, as you can see, BITTO came public when? The week of 10/18. And I highlighted at that point to say, okay, right now we are working within a range. We have basically fallen down from the highs of about 44 down to 37-ish. How big of a move is that? Let's just throw on. So that's about a 16, 17% move. I guess I'd have to do it the other way to find out. Yeah, there we go. Let's grab that. So about a 14% loss so far from the high. At the same time, though, I have as the candlesticks have filled their way, been filling their way out across the chart, we've gotten to a place where we have a pullback, we have a bullish harami. I do not have my indicators functioning totally yet because I don't have enough data in the system. So I have a bullish harami, which is oftentimes a reversal signal. Now, can it reverse from where it's at and move up? Sure. Where's my upside target on a situation like this? My upside target would be back up into at least the 20-day moving average, about a 4.8% move to 5%. The one thing I like about BITTO, and that I announced when I first highlighted it, is it has weekly options. With really excellent bid-ask spreads. It has excellent strike price spreads. and they offer weekly, and they're offered on a weekly basis. And so that's excellent. So what I'll be looking at doing for this particular entity is I would like to be looking for, do maybe a spread that would be, out around 17 December, where I would just do a simple little $2 spread, maybe, and I like the 17 December, $39 to $41 bull call spread. That's a debit spread. And I can pick that up for about 90, for about 75 cents, somewhere between 70 and 75 cents. And that is a very, very, what I would consider a low risk type of trade. You could load up with 10 contracts and you wouldn't lose more than $730, but you give an upside better than 1-to-1 ratio to the upside. I always go back and I double check. There are two entities you want to double check BITTO against. One is GBTC. That is that's the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. That's an ETF. And what's it showing us? Okay, basically it is in an uptrend. And its price pattern is very similar to BITTO, BITO. What do we have on it today? It is showing a bullish harami, looking to move back up off of the 34-day moving average. The moving average is on GBTC, and that's Golf, Bravo, Tango, Charlie, are basically reversing and turning back up. As you can see, I've got a two-line cluster that happened yesterday on the market forecast. Oftentimes, TSI will reverse and turn back up at the 0 line. Now, if it falls and drops down below the 50, and I was in a trade, I would jump out of it. This is also one of those that I'm looking at. How can I add to a position that I already have? For my grandkids, I'm buying BITO for my grandchildren, and basically, I'm just doing a few shares every month, and just building that up for them. Who knows? Could turn out to be their college fund. We'll see. The other thing I take a look at is because BITO is based off of the Bitcoin futures, I want to take a look at the Bitcoin futures. What are the Bitcoin futures telling me? Well, something similar. I found support. And again, where do I want to do? I want to look to my left. And what do you see? It has come down right square dab on top of a past level of support, found support, reversed. Now let's see if it will power on back through those areas. I'll have to check that out after hours. I do not trade the futures on the Bitcoin futures. However, I will use the chart of the futures because it should be fairly close to emulating what BITO is doing. As you will, and since they are linked together, that's why you see on BITO, that's why you see the big gaps, because it is linked back into the futures. So that's what I've got to show today. And so, hey, let's get ready. Let's get ready because I'll have a little segue into the answer to the question I posed during the opening of this video. As I promised, here's an answer to how to get started trading stocks. It's very simple. One, you have to have a plan. And the plan should be to basically start reading all you can about how to get started trading stocks. One of the best books I've found is this one by Matt Galgani, How to Make Money in Stocks, Getting Started, based on the Can Slim method from Investor Business Daily. Excellent read. It starts off with how to protect your money. And so many other trading books, they don't. They show you the hows of trade and all that kind of stuff, but don't really set you up to be a winner. This one sets you up to be a winner. There's a link down in the description that shows you exactly how to get this book on Amazon. Aloha. If you like these videos, hey, give us a thumbs up. Refer them on to your friends. We appreciate that. And my intention is to help you grow your wealth so you can achieve financial freedom. So aloha. God bless everybody.